truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool. City lights shining so bright. Fine dining nights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? Battle today. We're going to battle today because we're going to find out why are men so divided on how to get to a relationship towards marriage, right? It's a war between the men. We're literally having a war in this space on how men should approach women, on how men should date women, on how men should stay married to women. We're literally at war with each other, right? Because on one end, you got a group of men that says, you need to court, properly vet, properly date, right? And don't lead with your wallet, right? So that's one group of men. Then you got another group of men saying, you need to be a provider, protector. If you're man, if you got your shit together, make sure you get, the best version of yourself. Have money so you can be ready to raise a family. Then you got another group of men saying if you spend money on women, you're a trick. Then you got another group of men saying if you struggle, you can't spend money or take care of a woman, you broke. So we're so divided on how to deal with women, right? Because all these men have all these different solutions, but they all don't align and unify with all men universally. And this is where the problem comes, because we got men shaming men if they pay all the bills, even though most men aren't paying all the bills, but they still shame other men. Then you got men shaming other men if they broke and they can't pay for dinners, can't pay, right? So it's a war that is ongoing, and there's just no way that we as men can be this divided, right? The women, they align. Then if a woman goes off, they put them back online, right? And say, okay. And against men, they will align. But men, we can be 4 of us on the panel, 2 women, and 2 of us may, 3 of us may agree this way, and this one guy may say differently, and it's a war. Bam. Next thing is name calling. He's a bitch. He's a trick. He's a hoe. All these fucking names start calling, and it's like, what happened to the conversation? I've been in this space for over 2 years, and I've seen men divide even more. Although we're here to really talk to the women. And I guess express our grievances of why we don't want them to be the way they be, but we end up fighting with each other so much that we never get anything solved, never get anything done. You know, I don't understand. A man, large part of his value comes from economic success. But then they say, don't leave with your wallet. Then they tell men, you know, who don't really, you know, who love women, who attracted women, and, you know, all our lives come up under, you know, Jodeci, all of Keith Sweat, love women, love women, love them. Now saying exercise discipline. Right? Then we got men talking about you need to make sure she has 2-parent household. You need to make sure she has all these requirements before you marry her. We got every man have all kind of solutions, and all it do is make us war against each other. Oh, don't leave with your wallet. But then how you gonna get a wife if you're not economically efficient, nigga? You think I don't get it, right? Men, all our lives have been taught to be providers, and large part of that provision to qualify you as a husband or a man of man, nigga, you gotta have you can't be broke. But then when you get the money and you get the lifestyle, they said, well, now don't lead with it. Lead with your character. Then you got another man coming and saying, well, you know, you need to make sure her low body count is low. Body count matters. Right? So many different. We got so many different. I don't understand why so many different solutions to deal with. Is it that we don't understand women? Is that what it is? Is it that we are being misguided by our lust or even our what we call success? So I did live a few days ago about married men opinions that should stay out this war because they do a lot of projecting. So we as men are not unified because we all have our own way on how we want to deal with the woman. And then we got men coming on here shaming other men because they deal with the way they want to deal with their women. And all that shaming and blaming other men for being men is not going to get us to a solution. It's not going to get us, it's not going to help us get the nuclear family back on track by us going to war against each other. We are literally at war with each other, but that means we're divided. So how are you supposed to get a nuclear family together when you can't even get your own house together? This is a war that is only hurting the man's position. And because you have this war amongst men, the women continue to push forward. They continue to excel. They continue to get more powerful. They continue to get, because all they're doing is manipulate one party against the next. And we don't see that. We just see, oh, you wrong. You don't know what you're doing. And we literally have not just a gender war, right? We're having an in-house fight. We have an in-house fight. We in-house fighting each other. And this in-house fighting is only making us be further apart from each other. It's not bringing us together. The more we fight the more we lose.
So therein proves my point. We just went on a tirade about how the woman who stays at home, you guys claim women would call her a pick-me. But the man that chooses the woman, right, that does all the things that you claim make her undesirable, you call him a sucker. So when you want to talk about this war on women by women, what M just said, there's a war on men by men. Because anytime there's anybody who falls outside the scheme of what society tells us that we should be doing, we as a society tend to shame them. So when you want to get on your pedestal and claim that women hate women and there's a war on women peddled by women.
See that shit you doing right there?
Yeah,
That's that goofy shit you talking about.
Did feminism teach women to value careers over men?
No, that was not even like the one or the other thing. Like, feminism does not teach you that you have to have a career instead of a man. Like, I'm not sure where people are getting that from. It just teaches you that you can have both. Like, as Black women, we've always had both. We've always had the husband, and we've also had to work. We had to go clean up the little YT people houses and then come home and take care of the household. So, like, we've always done both. Feminism didn't teach us that. And I don't think that was the point. I think that feminism taught women that they don't have to have a man. You can take care of yourself. You don't have to do it. But no, I don't think that it taught us to have a career over a man.
The feminism makes women value their job over having a man, and Bo's response to that was no. It made us understand that we can have both.
Yeah,
You don't necessarily need a man.
right. So, like I said, I got a brain fog. My son walked over, but I agree with Illa's earlier point about the shaming and the discrimination of other women and them being called pick-me's when they prioritize having a man or a family. And I think feminism in its altruistic nature may.
Praise the Lord.
Just when he was about to cook. Look, dang it. He was about to get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna have True respond. Go ahead, True. To Bo.
No, I like how Bo answered it. Actually, I think that I think she's right. I think it kind of just gave more options. I think as it's developed over time, it's morphed into something a little bit more hyperbolic. I don't think any men on this panel and even listening has said or dismissed the value that women bring in society from a humanistic perspective. This is not to highlight that at one time there were laws and different things that did not necessarily propped up women, in a certain manner. I wasn't a part of that movement, and and
Can you guys hear him?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What value do women bring? That's where the divide starts, right? That's where it's at, right? What value does a woman bring? The value is to the purchaser, right? So if he sees his woman as everything he wants in a woman, she then becomes valuable to him, even though she doesn't bring but herself. But if he values her, at a high value rate, she's going to be in his life, right? So of course, a man's going to value the woman he's chasing, the women that he wants to marry, right? But he's not adding value. Women don't add value to a man's life. They don't add value, right? You see her as valuable, but she does not add value. She actually depreciates you. She makes you weaker, right? Because now you have a responsibility. She becomes a responsibility, like a child almost. She's a bill. right? So you not only do you have to be, you know, just a boyfriend, you got to be a therapist. You got to be, you got to be everything. So it's she devalues you, but you take that as a grain of salt because you feel she's worth it, but because she's valuable to you.
All right. Yeah. So
Go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, I was agreeing with Ella in the point about women being shamed for being what would be considered a traditional woman. And it does seem as though it's a war on women by women. Like they don't want to see women operate in anything that doesn't comparably make them masculine. And it's a shame because that's where the in my opinion, and traditionally, historically, the power of women is in femininity, not a full version of masculinity. And it's actually sad. You know, the women who claim they're not protected usually operate in that full masculinity, because most of the women that operate in the power of the femininity usually will have men stepping in the line for them. I'm not saying all men are good, but there's a large portion of men who are waiting to lay their life down and stand in the gap for women. But if someone is operating in full masculinity, it's almost offensive to step in and help another man fight somebody. So it falls into that across the sphere.
And can I just say something real quick, 2 seconds, Stab? Because we could be here all day about the roles. Like I always tell people, you can do what you want to do. You want to be poly, you want to do whatever you want to do it. Just understand what you're asking for. So what I'm saying is women can work all the jobs, you can be president, you can do all that shit, but you judge a tree by the fruit it bear. So most women who take on those roles, men don't want you. Period. So we could talk all this shit you want to say, but the women who got all this to say, all this back and forth, all this fact check, every little thing man could do, who you can't beat, you can't do nothing with. All you could do is call somebody, HR, or call the police. You can't do nothing with me right now. Those type of women, you're not going to get a man. You're going to have all the degrees. You're going to have all the credentials. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You're going to have 820 credit, all of that shit, but you won't have a man. So what I'm saying is you could do whatever you want. Just understand the energy that comes with the lifestyle you choose. You want to be independent. You want to be strong. You want to be respected for your mental acumen and your accomplishments. You can do that, baby. It's just not conducive for a man. And it has nothing to do with him being intimidated. It has nothing to do with being jealous. It's just that when you take on that energy all the time, you always bumping shoulders in the boardroom, fighting over PowerPoints with the fellow guys, you can do that shit, but it takes a lot of weight. It takes a lot from you when it comes to being feminine and how to be submissive, not just being told what to do, but intimately submissive. See, women love to hear that word and they go crazy. We're not talking about bend down and tie my shoes. I'm talking about intimately submissive, emotionally submissive. That shit doesn't always equate.
Can you mute for me, Lou?
You said what?
I just quickly want to.
I want to finish, but you can go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
Good job, Illa.
I just quickly want to ask, because what would you call the man that does choose this type of woman?
Oh, they exist, but that's not the one you want.
No, I'm asking.
You asked me. Let me answer. You asked me. Let me answer. Okay. They exist. That kind of guy is mostly a passive guy. Like, for example, right? There's a woman that goes around and she's proud because she got like 2 husbands, right? And when you look at most women who,
I just want to know what you would call.
I'm telling you, but you can't tell me how to answer it.
No, because I wanted to expound on my point. I
want to finish my point. So
okay.
Just make your point and I'll respond. Because we all know what type of dudes do that. See, women can find a guy just to prove like, hey, he exists. Yeah, but it's never a guy that we respect. It's never a guy that can galvanize other men. It's never a guy that other women want. But can you get a man to prove a point like, hey, I'm independent. I talk any kind of way. And look, I got a man. You can get that kind of man, but it's never a man that nobody respects.
What would you call him?
He said
a sucker.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So just hang out right there.
No, not sucker.
One second.
Whatever. Sucker, passive, a man that other men don't respect. That's what a man that other men don't respect.
All right, let her respond.
So there improves my point. We just went on a tirade about how the woman who stays at home, you guys claim women would call her a pick-me. But the man that chooses the woman right, that does all the things that you claim make her undesirable, you call him a sucker. So when you want to talk about this war on women by women, what M just said, there's a war on men by men, because anytime there's anybody who falls outside the scheme of what society tells us that we should be doing, we as a society tend to shame them. So when you want to get on your pedestal and claim that women hate women and there's a war on women peddled by women.
See that shit you're doing right there?
Yeah,
That's that goofy shit you're talking
hey.
about.
Oh, yeah, let her finish.
Let me respond. Please let me respond to
Let
that.
me get you right quick.
Do that to the other women only for you to tell me that you don't respect the kind of guy that decides to choose the woman that you deem to be undesirable.
No.
So you're doing the exact same thing.
No, it sounds good.
I just want to point that out.
It sounded pretty intellectual, but I'm gonna tell you what it really is.
Oh, I like that.
What the truth is, we not no.
But the truth is, men shame men all the time. You're simp, you're beta, because you know some men want their women to lead. A lot of men want their women to lead. They don't mind it, right? And there's men that pounce on them. Oh, you ain't shit. You soft. Ooh. So yeah, we are divided on, or at war at men attacking men because men want to live their life the way that they're happy. And I tell homies all the time, I don't care how you live your life. If you want your woman to run your household, that's on you. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. If a man wants his woman to be a leader, that's on him. That's his life. I don't lose sleep. So I don't need to name call him. I don't need to call him soft or this or that. If any man who wants to run his household that he's efficient to make it last, and that means he got to take a back seat, hey, he's the one that got to live with that. Not me. Rufus going to keep it pushing, and he'll still be my friend. I don't care. I really don't even want to hear it, really. But if he tells me, okay. But bottom line is, what a man does in his house with his family, his wife, his kids, is his business. And if he comes on this panel and shares it with me, okay, yeah, I like my wife to this. I like her to run the show. I'm submissive. Okay, homie, no problem. No problem. But a lot of men, we have problems come on these panels when people share their situation. We want to pounce. Oh, you soft. You da-da-da. You ain't shit. You're a trick. Oh, you're this. You're that. We name call. We got a name for everything. We got a name for everything. And everybody who doesn't do what we think. Men are not a monolith. So we all don't subscribe to what we want our relationship or our marriage to be. We are different. Okay? So we can't sit here and try to lump all men to the same box. We can't do it. We can advise. We can strongly advise or strongly suggest that this may be a better way or a more successful way. That's fine. But you can't pounce on a man and call him all out his name and tell him he's lame because he wants to live his life different than yours. That's just, to me, that's not getting anything solved, nor is it making our community stronger.
We're not knocking a man for picking a woman who work hard. See, it sounds good, but I'm gonna remove the bullshit. Hold on.
Just called him a
it sounds great, but I'm not talking about picking a woman who works. I'm not talking about picking a woman who actually do stuff. That don't make you soft. Everybody should work.
No, it was your definition.
Hold on, sweetie. You talked. What I'm saying is, I'm not knocking that. You can pick a woman who's adventurous and who's ambitious. That could be attractive to a degree. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man who lets a woman talk to him any kind of way. And oftentimes, it's the independent, bossy type of woman who has a certain it's a certain tone she speaks. There's a certain level of disrespect she carries, and she's very dismissive of his masculinity. That could come from a woman who works or stays at home. So we not even, when it comes to that particular topic, I'm not necessarily speaking strictly about what she does for work. It's the spirit she has. I know women who stay at home and talk to their men like that. There's men who go out and work their ass off, and the woman don't do shit, but she runs the show. So I'm not talking about just your job and being able to acquire things makes you turned off. No, it's the spirit that you can maintain from doing that or without it. Like I said, there's women who don't do anything and run the fucking household because he's soft. So those type of guys, yeah, women can get them, but they'll never be respectable men. Because women always bring up guys they get, but what kind of guy? Is it the guy that just proves you have is he just a body? Or is he a man that other men are impressed by? Not because he got muscles and he's tough, just by how he carries himself. He has a certain decorum. Most women who are very dominant, or most women who think they can get multiple guys, it's never the A1 guy. It's always the guy that's just there to just, oh yes, I'll do it, baby. Oh yeah, you got it, you got it. That's the guy they love to put on the pedestal to say, see, these men do exist. Don't nobody want to be with them dudes. Stop it.
And this is the war that we have, right? And true, there are men that
women always bring up guys they get, but what kind of guy? Is it the guy that just proves you have is he just a body? Or is he a man that other men are impressed by? Not because he got muscles and he's tough, just by how he carries himself. He has a certain decorum. Most women who are very dominant, or most women who think they can get multiple guys, it's never the A1 guy. It's always the guy that's just there to just, oh yes, I'll do it, baby. Oh yeah, you got it, you got it. That's the guy they love to put on the pedestal to say, see, these men do exist. Don't nobody want to be with them dudes. Stop it.
Listen,
Oh,
I
is
got
it the pick me or the
no. I got
Is
a
it the
question.
pick me or the sucker? Which
I got a
one?
question. I got a question because of what she tried to do there.
Yeah, it was cute. It was cute.
Now,
Passive was the word we used.
the passive word what we use. I want to ask the women, what is a weak man? What is a weak man to you? Describe him to me, please.
He lacks a backbone.
What does that look like?
So if he knows something is right and he does not do it, he does not trust himself, I think that's a sign of weakness. Because if he's going to be a leader, he has to be able to trust himself, his intuition, his logic.
But women don't want leaders. That's the thing about it. Y'all, the women don't want the lead guys to lead. They want to do the leading. Women aren't looking for leaders. And the men pounce on the other men because they say, well, you ain't strong, you soft because you can't tell your woman what to do. When the woman objectively can walk away. There is nothing you can do to keep her from walking out that door. And women, they will leave before the man. In majority of cases, women will walk away. So most men have to kind of tailor the conversation. They got to kind of acquiesce because women act like they don't need men. And men act like they can't live without women. And this is where the disconnect comes. This is where the divide comes amongst men, because now we're telling other men, why can't you keep your woman? Because she has free autonomy, nigga. She's free to do. And if she feels like that she wants to move around, what you want me to do? And then you turn around and say, well, you better not yell at her. It's just nothing I can do. My hands are tied. And then you turn around and say, well, if she ain't acting the way, leave. So we just got so many different solutions. Some men say, you know. What's up, King's Picks? So we're so divided. We got so many different solutions. We don't know what the fuck to do. For real. Because then they tell you, pick better. Pick better. Like, picking a relationship ain't a gamble. It's still a gamble, nigga. It's just probability, low probability versus high probability. It doesn't mean y'all gonna finish out together. It is a gamble. Anytime you're picking a woman, no matter how you pick your women, for it to finish or to come to fruition, a marriage, long lasting, it's a gamble. So there is no one size fits all. All women and all men do not see the same and feel the same when it comes to their position in this life. So the woman feels that her happiness is being, compromised. She's fucking gonna leave. Men, if he walks in and see his girl get smashed by his best friend or anybody in his room or anywhere, he's going to leave. It didn't mean but that doesn't mean he picked wrong. That doesn't mean he picked wrong. That just means it didn't work out. He gambled and he lost. That's just the name of the game. And some niggas get lucky. They get lucky, and then they want to shun men, right? Oh, you ain't do it like me. Oh, da. And these men who got lucky, they think it was them that keep her in there. When really, you can't control that woman. No man can control a woman, and no woman can control a man. Let's get that straight. And nobody can read people's minds and hearts. Nobody can. You can only guesstimate. That's all you can do.
And follow through with things. That's one sign. There's other ladies, so I'm sure they can give others as well.
Appreciate that. Bo?
I don't like, well, I think that a man is weak when he has to constantly ask for respect. Like if you're constantly voicing who you are supposed to be and what your position is supposed to be in someone else's life and how people are supposed to view you instead of you embodying all of that, I think that that's weak.
So a man should not ask for respect. It should just be given based on how he carries himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like respect, leadership, submission, like stuff like that. Like men who go around whining that they don't get it, I think that those men are really weak because they do not embody it. They are not worthy of it. So, yeah.
So why would you think a dude would do that?
Because he's not done the work on himself to become that type of man that deserves those things.
He could be insecure.
So a man is weak if he tells you that he needs respect.
No.
Would it be because he's not getting respect?
No.
Okay, so a man would be getting respect and then ask for respect, even though he's getting it.
No, a man who does not carry himself and is not worthy of respect, demanding the things that he is not worthy of. Like, for an example, men who talk over me, I talk over them. Men who holler at me, I holler at them. And then they want me to respect them, but they have not done anything worthy of respect themselves. You see what I'm saying?
I understand. Okay. What you got, Ty?
I agree with Kiana and Bo. I feel like a man who lacks a backbone, who lacks their own presence, who's not sure of themselves. I'm not even going to say who's not sure of themselves, because I feel like all people go through a phase where they're not necessarily sure of themselves, but where they are looking for that extra validation, and they do things to try to make themselves look respectable, but don't have it naturally. That's what I see as a weak man, if that makes sense.
There is one thing we have to understand amongst men. until we embody a resolution, some sort of formula that we all can hop on board, there's just no way that one man can tell another man or even judge another man on how he lives his life. And the thing about marriages is they're institutions, but they're decentralized. Meaning each marriage is its own entity and it's different from the other marriage. Each relationship is, when people have relationships, they typically close people off, right? They typically cut off their friends, their family, right? They typically cut everybody off, typically, you know, when it, or I would say, you know, when they're in, that's why they move in together or they cohabitate together. Then, you know, they go from there. Not saying they necessarily cut off, because most people don't, they stay in touch. But how a couple, their boundaries, whatever they lay down in their relationship, that's just how they're going to do it. And most women are the leaders, so it's just going to be the way the women want it for it to last. At least, you know, at least for, if you want to get 5-year run, she's gonna have to have her way. Because one thing about women, I give, this is the respect to the women. They will leave a nigga. Women will leave you like it's nothing. Men are expendable to women. And that's just the fact of the matter. Men will always be men are expendable to women because women understand that if their happiness is compromised, they can move on when they want to and continue their happiness. Women want to live in happiness. And if you're not adding to their happiness, then they're gonna do you. And I think this is the difference, right? Women look for men to add value. Men value women. Right? Difference. Adding, a woman looks for a man to add value to her life. Meaning he needs to be on a certain level economically. He needs to be on a certain level emotionally, intelligently. He needs to be on a certain level sexually to add to make her happy, right? Men, we value the woman, so she doesn't add value. We don't look for her to add value. We consider her as the value, as being valuable, and we bring her in. So this is why it's different. This is why men share their resources. This is why men spend their money. This is why men spend all their time. This is why men cut their friends off. This is why the men will get the ring in the wedding, because men value women. We get women because we value them. Women will only get with you long term or short term if you add value to her. She doesn't value the man, but she's looking for the man that add value to her life. And that's the difference. That's a big difference.
And I know that was kind of broad, so it might not, but.
So a man is not naturally a leader. I got you. And so.
No.
My question, okay, guys, I'm with you.
Not all men. I don't feel all men are natural leaders. Philosophical.
Okay.
That was to you because you did. No, I'm just playing with you.
So
Just messing with you today, philosophical. Just calm down.
Mess with me, I'm cool. I'm tough. I'm tough, baby. It's all good.
Great. Okay, Pretty, what about you? What is there?
But no, all men are not like. I mean, all men are not leaders, just like all women are not naturally feminine. right? I think sometimes they need to be taught that, and depending on your upbringing, depending on the environment you're around, they can turn out to be something else. That's why I said I'm not going to say people who aren't sure of themselves, because I honestly feel like a lot of people go through phases where they have to learn certain behaviors, right? I think there are a lot of women who have to learn what femininity is. There's a lot of men that have to learn what it is to be masculine and to walk in that presence and to feel that, because maybe they didn't have a father in the home. They didn't have leaders around them. Women who only had women who worked and who always had to be in that masculinity, so they didn't get to see the femininity. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Okay.
Real quick, Drew, can I say something real quick? I think I'm sorry.
Let me just run the table. Just trying to get a consensus. Pretty. What is a weak man to you?
A man who constantly seeks validation from other men and not himself. Someone who's not self-assured, and so he externalizes his self-worth. If you externalize your self-worth and you're unable to seek validation from yourself, then you're weak, because you're going to fall to the quality of the people around you rather than your own moral compass.
Thank you for that, Miss Aisha.
So I think that I agree with consensus. I think it's someone who avoids responsibility. They have poor emotions, a fragile ego. They lack integrity, and they're disrespectful.
Cool. So all the things that y'all describe, all the things y'all describe as a passive dude. That's what y'all just basically described, was a passive dude.
So someone who avoids responsibility is passive. Someone that is
because he's passive because he's not taking initiative to be himself and do as he should.
Completely disagree. Someone that lacks integrity.
We're not talking about passive where, like, if someone gets into an argument with him, he says, okay, I'm going to step away from that. We're discussing no, not at all. I'm saying it's a trait of a passive man because he has a playbook. Like when we were discussing respect, he has a playbook of how he should be treated, but he does not encompass and embody that. So that's a very passive thing, to just allow things to happen to you instead of taking control and really living in your male essence as a man, as they should, and taking control of their lives. In the matter of control over their lives, if they're not doing that, they would be passive.
So that means that the things that y'all just described, y'all wouldn't want that type of guy, right? Which is what Pretty was explaining before, and that's what we were saying, that women do not want these guys. Do they exist? Yes. But you want a guy that's assertive. You want a guy that has a little bit of asshole in them. You want a guy that is able to say, this is what I know to be true, and I'm standing on business, regardless of what you think or regardless of what you say. That's the type of dude that you want. Right. However, when you describe what Il is trying to tell you is that a man doesn't want to go home and have to compete with his woman, okay, and butt heads with his woman. And submissiveness simply means that you are taking off your crown, laying your crown down, and you're saying, you know what, I honor what it is that your position is as it relates to being over me. Right. And then on the other side of the man, he is being respectful. And the word that Miss, I can't remember her name, the lady in the middle, Kiana said, was that he is cherishing and valuing her disposition and honoring him. It works together. If he was a passive dude, he would be less likely to want to be submissive to him. So yes, as we stated before, there are these anomalies, but in overall, women want men to lead them. Otherwise, what is the point?
And that is where he made his error. Women don't want men to lead them. The point is they want to lead you, nigga. And I'm going to sign off. Till next time. Peace out.